Heyo, Hudson here with Planet 4 Gaming. I almost died of old age between now and the last time I uploaded, but I'm back, and I'm flying the Yak-15, aka the worst jet in the game, aka the plane that looks the most like a dildo in the game. It's not a particularly well-loved jet by the War Thunder community, I don't think, but I'm rather fond of it. The best thing about it is you almost never go up against jets when you're flying it. It's mostly late game props, which it is fairly effective against. For the most part, it's faster than any prop in the game, which is its biggest advantage, and it turns better than quite a few of them. It turns better than any German plane, and about on par with the Bearcat, I would say. Its biggest disadvantage, as everyone probably already knows, is it has 120 rounds of ammunition, which is absolutely pathetic. At most, you'll get 3 planes in one flyout, but that would be very rare. I would say reliably you'd be able to take out 2 planes, and a lot of the time not even 2 planes. And the 23mm does, I guess, a noticeable amount of damage more than the 20mm, but not so much that I would want to use it over the 20mm. It has a very slow muzzle velocity, so you have to lead your target a lot more, which is annoying to me. And overall, I just find it less accurate. So it has its pros and cons. I don't know. I don't really know what to make of it. I'm not a huge fan of the 23mm. I'll leave it at that. Another disadvantage, it doesn't have that great of a dive speed. It's just over 700 kilometers per hour, which isn't even all that great for a prop plane. But I suppose it makes sense since this plane is just a Yak-3 with an jet engine strapped on, so not too surprising. And if you learn this plane's strengths and weaknesses and know how to use them to your advantage, don't fly like this guy behind me, you should do very well. You might need to rely on your team a little more than normal, though, since you can't take out a whole lot of planes in one flyout. But here I am in a full game, starting out the way I normally do, climb to a reasonable height and just see what's going on, see who I should go for. I never really fly above 4,000 meters in this plane because it tends to perform rather shittily at any altitude higher than that, which I guess is fairly common for early game jets, and common for Russian planes overall as well. So yeah, just don't fly too high with this plane, or at least if you do, don't try to do too much dogfighting. Just use it as an altitude advantage over people who are lower than you. So I've got a TA-152 flying past me, a Focke-Wulf way overhead trying to achieve orbit, and I've got my guys down below. I'm just gonna see who attacks me or who makes a mistake, and eventually I'll pick someone off. The good thing about this plane is, since you can't fly very high, it has a good enough turn time that you can dodge fairly easily, especially against the Germans, who can't make very big turns. So the 152 has gone down. The 190 dove at me but missed, so I'm gonna go for the 152 now. I've got a Spitfire down there at low altitude chasing after the Focke-Wulf, so I should have some help, I guess. just gonna dive in. He's on the Spitfire's tail, doesn't seem to notice me. Spitfire's gonna be dead soon. And closing in. Gotta line up your shots very carefully with this plane. Almost no ammo. Get a few hits. Probably used a little more ammo than I should have, but not a big deal. Now just gonna head in for a second pass. 152 is trying to get away. He's pulling up for some reason. I would have stayed at treetop level. And he lines up a perfect shot for me. Take his wing right off. I love doing that to TA-152s. Snap off one of those ridiculous spindly wings and watch it spiral out of control. One of my favorite things in the game. So that guy got himself wrecked. And the Focke-Wulf is trying to chase me down, but he's not fast enough. So now... Oh, second one diving in. Just quick dodge. If I looked back 1 second later, I would have been dead, but no big deal. I know what I'm doing. He's able to use his energy to climb away, so now it's just me and 2 Focke-Wulfs. And I do not have as much ammo as I would have liked for that kind of encounter, but I'll see what I can do. The actual dogfighting of 2 Focke-Wulfs is not too bad, because their turn time is just nowhere near mine. See, he tries to get in a shot there. He's taking shots he can't even hit. I don't know why he did that. And I'm able to get on his tail fairly quickly. His turn time just can't compete with the Yaks at all. It's not even close. Get a few shots in, use way too much ammo again. Line up another one, more hits. You see, the NS-23, the planes carry less ammo with that cannon, but it doesn't do enough damage to justify it for me, especially considering how inaccurate and slow muzzle velocity it is. I just don't like it. But I'm gonna line up another shot. Gonna try anyway. You gotta watch your speed coming in. It's very easy to get going too fast in this plane and end up overshooting. But it's not really a big deal, because I can just turn circles around these Focke-Wulfs. Just gotta keep their guns away from me. And that's all there is to it, really. They're all trying to get shots in, but they can't turn with me, so not too concerned. Now I'm on this guy's tail again. Just line up a shot right there, snap his wing off. One down, one to go. That one has a little more restraint. He didn't take the shot there when he knew he wasn't going to hit. So, I've only got 12 rounds left. You could potentially get a kill with 12 rounds in this plane, but it's not reliable, is it? I mean, you don't want to be going up against a guy on your own with only 12 rounds. You have to be very, very accurate. So I'm going to try and slip under him, get on his tail again. And as you can see, he blew my ass up with a single magic bullet, I assume a 30mm. Why can't the Yak have that, by the way? Why can't it have the fucking 30mm instead of the 23? Get on that, guy, Jin. Anyway, I mistimed my dodge a tiny little bit there. As I was getting ready to turn right, he was already turning into me. So I would have needed to do that about 2 seconds earlier than I had, but whatever. I most likely was not going to get that guy anyway, and I did fairly well. 2 kills, my team was nowhere, and we still won. So that was probably one of the more exciting games I've had in the Yak-15. Not the most kills I've gotten, but I just really like that dogfight I had with the 2 Focke-Wulfs. And that should give you a fairly good idea of how to fly the Yak-15. You can examine my successes and mistakes there. So, honestly, you shouldn't even be researching the Yak-15 until the end. I'd go for the LA-15. I've already flown that a little bit, and it's pretty fun. So yeah, don't research the Yak-15 if you haven't already. That is my advice to you. Anyway, this has been Hudson with P4G. I should hopefully be uploading on a better schedule now. I'm planning on doing 1 video a week. We'll see if I can keep that up. I've already got one almost ready to go, so we should have one next week. But stay tuned for that anyway. But until then, get the fuck out of here.